Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Gauri Khanna and this is Sonali Tolani. And today we bring to you Latitude. Latitude is a geolocation-based mobile application that allows tourists to truly live like a local. A few years ago, I visited Paris. And like all tourists, I went to the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, and ended up eating at a restaurant recommended by the Louvre tour guide. Honestly, I can most definitely say that even Statler has better croissants than Café de la Louvre. This winter, I went again to Paris, but this time I stayed with a friend who lives in the city, and I experienced Paris in a completely new light. She took me to local pop-up markets, a floating hotel, and made me have the best hot chocolate, and it wasn't on Champs-Élysées. We know that when all of you travel, somehow you always end up at typical touristy traps, and recognizing this problem, we decided to develop Latitude. Each place has a story, and Latitude aims to allow tourists to explore the hidden gems these cities have to offer. We aim to foster friendships and allow our Latitude users to connect with other users. We also aim to promote local tourism by driving tourists to the not-so-common spots, whereby enhancing their experience as well as promoting local economies. Now, Sonali is going to talk about the product.
Our primary feature is the How I'm Feeling feature that allows you to get a curated list of local things to do based on your feeling. My mom's really annoying, and every time we travel to a new city, she randomly stops locals in the middle of the road and asks them what to do and where to eat. Mom, I hope you're not watching this on live television, and I would never admit this to you, but turns out those recommendations are actually the better places and become the highlight of my trip. Latitude's How I'm Feeling feature is just like a local person, as not only does it save me the embarrassment from randomly stopping people in the streets, but it also provides a list of local curated experiences. Our second feature is Let's Hang. Let's Hang allows you to find other tourists who also happen to be in the same city as you and are interested in a similar activity. Now let me take you on a trip through Latitude. Open up the Latitudes application to see a list of millennial-generated emotions. Are you feeling adventurous? Are you feeling hungry? Or are you feeling stressed? I think I'm going to go with adventurous today. Here's a curated list of adventurous activities based on my location. Once I select the activity I'm interested in, I can either click Let's Go and be directed to Google Maps or Uber, or I can also click on I Want To, and here I can invite other friends who would like to come along with me. This is our second feature, Let's Hang in action. Let's Hang is an activities newsfeed where I can see what my Facebook friends, my mutual Facebook friends, and even what people around me are doing. If none of these interest me, I can go ahead and create my own activity for people to join me. I can also create my own travel bucket list for places I would like to visit in the future. Here's what a simple Latitude profile looks like. It just has your age, where you're from, and what you're usually feeling. For added safety, we've also added, you can also see the tourists' mutual Facebook friends in addition to the activities they've done in the past. We'll now move on to market potential.
We plan to roll out the beta version of Latitude in Ithaca in April 2017. The Ithaca market will merely serve as a proof of concept and customer validation. Our first city of launch will be New York City in June 2017. And by the end of this year, we aim to be in the top 5 millennial destinations in the US: New York, Boston, Miami, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. By our second year, in Jan 2018, we plan to expand to an additional 10 cities, and in our third year, we need to have a strong presence in 30 cities, both in the US as well as globally. Latitude is targeting the millennial travelers. We've spoken to over 150 millennial tourists, and 100% of them said they would be eager in using an application like Latitude to truly live like a local. Also, research from Airbnb shows that millennials prioritize travel over buying a house and even paying off debt. As you can see, the millennial tourists are broken down into solo travelers, families, business travelers, students studying abroad, as well as group of friends. The travel and tourism industry is booming, generating over $9.2 trillion in revenue and contributing to 9.8% of the global GDP. The World Travel and Youth Organization stated that there were 200 million millennial tourists in the world, and out of this, 12 million visit New York each year. Latitude projects to tap into this market and get a user base of 100,000 active users from just New York City in year one. We will be using various customer acquisition strategies to reach our users. Our summer internship strategy is targeted to the thousands of summer students who go to the city every summer to intern. Over this short span of 8 to 12 weeks, they can use Latitude to truly enrich their internship experience and have discover the true features of a city. We also found through customer discovery and talking to friends, family, and other millennials that social media is an asset to reach millennials. So millennials look at platforms like Instagram for travel inspirations, and thus we will heavily rely on social media strategies to tap into this millennial market. We have also identified 50 potential local ambassadors in New York. These are travel enthusiasts who are willing to share their passion for the city with other tourists. Latitude has a competitive advantage over its competitors based on its two value propositions of geolocation and social connectivity. We have a talented and diverse team. We have a hotelier, a business major, and a CS guru. I, Gauri Khanna, have previously worked at HVS and the Boston Consulting Group. Sonali Tolani has worked at a boutique investment bank, and Nikita Gupta at Apple. We are also supported by a highly accomplished board of advisors, an entrepreneurship and technology professor, and 2 successful business entrepreneurs. Now Sonali is going to talk about how we make money.
So in the short run, we have 2 main sources of revenue. Our first source of revenue is advertisements. Once we have built a community of over 1 million users, which we project by our second year, we believe that we can leverage this community to charge our local vendors a fee to advertise on our platform. Local vendors could include people who own small mom-and-pop shops, small art galleries, and even small local bakeries. Our second source of revenue is sponsorships. Sponsorships are also another form of advertisements, but this will provide our local vendors with a distinguished feature on our platform. In the long run, we also plan to implement a subscription model, which is very similar to what OpenTable does. We will be charging an annual subscription fee in addition to a per booking fee. We are also currently exploring many other revenue models, some of which include data analytics, as we believe that we have so much insight into a consumer's behavior. We know the places they visit, we know the local places they hang out at, and we also know who they connect with. We believe that big data can have tremendous value for our platform in the long run. So moving on to our expenses. These are a quick snapshot of our expenses in the first year. Our marketing costs are relatively high because we believe that as a mobile application, customer acquisition is key for us in the first year. Our engineering costs include our labor costs as well as our software and development costs. And our research and development costs include our local sales team, which will be present in every city we expand to. These teams will be curating and handpicking a creme de la creme list of the local experiences in the city we expand to. Here, in terms of revenue, we will be charging 20 cents to our local vendors on a cost per click basis to advertise on our platform. Unfortunately, we cannot see our revenue line on this chart, but from our net income, we can see that we will be breaking even in our third year. We believe that we will be able to break even because we will have gained at least 3 million users on our platform by then. Even though generating revenue is crucial to our business model, we believe that gaining customers and having customer acquisition is very important for us in our first year. Currently, we're developing our beta version in India from our skilled set of engineers back in India. We will be launching a beta version in Ithaca by the end of this month. We need your funds to help us market our product and promote it, as we already mentioned earlier that customer acquisition is key. Throughout this process, we have learned so much. We would like to thank everyone who has supported and believed in us, and we will make you proud. Thank you, and we would now like to take any questions.
Thank you, guys. I actually really appreciate this app because I travel a lot. But I think spending a little bit over $1 a user is going to be expensive the first year. But the other piece, just taking a step back, is I'm not convinced that you guys have the expertise and the wherewithal to pull this off. I'm just looking at your backgrounds, and apps are created 1,000 a month at this point. And neither of you two who are standing up here today have a technical background. Convince the audience today that, Gauri, if you are the founder and everyone else leaves, that you have the expertise to still pull this off.
So we actually believe we have an extremely strong team, considering I have a hospitality and tourism background. At HVS, I was analyzing trends in the hospitality and tourism industry, from where I realized that there was a need in the market for this application. We have a finance major who's worked at an investment bank, so all our businesses are handled. And then we have a tech guru who's developing our technology platform, working on all the APIs and the technology that's required to build our database, which is going to be curated by like data scientists.
And all three of you guys are equal founders. You plan on having equal equity in the company from the very beginning.
Yes.
Great job, great deck, and clever idea. The question of marketing to people, I'm with Kareem, this is going to be an expensive marketing, endeavor. And so are you marketing to people in the countries or cities they're coming to New York? Or do you plan on marketing to them when they're in New York? And how do you intend to break through?
I think for our customer acquisition strategies, we're currently launching a beta version in Ithaca, and we're also planning to leverage our Cornell resources to advertise our brand to our summer interns. A lot of summer interns are flocking to New York every summer, and they're actually tourists in the city. So we believe that we can show them and make them aware about our application, and once they use it in the summer and explore the city through local gems and really enjoy using our application, we believe that we would have built a good enough user base to go on and go into other markets.
And to add to that, we're not targeting people who want to plan their trip. Latitude is a sort of an on-the-go concierge that provides like a one-stop experience. So they don't if you're coming to New York, you don't need to plan your trip in advance. With Latitude, on the go, through our geolocation feature, you'll know exactly the best hot chocolate cafe is a minute away from you, and you can go eat there, drink coffee.
How do I find out about you if I'm in Atlanta? I'm going to go to New York in 2 weeks. Do I find out about you when I'm in New York?
I think you find out about us when you're in New York, as we'll be partnering with also travel and tourism departments, and we'll be having widespread advertisements around the city. And also we're in talks with hotel concierges if they could promote our application to their users, just because it's just an added service for them. They would be able to, it's like it's more value added, and their customers at the hotels would be able to discover the city in a more local and authentic experience.
I love how you've linked, the services with the data, with travelers who are there, to Uber and reservations for restaurants. I mean, it's very cool to try. It's very ambitious. But, right now there's still quite a bit of competition. And there's Goop, there's Monocle, there's Travel and Leisure. I'm sure you didn't really talk about how their target market compares to what you're doing, what the difference is, and how you would get, it's still not clear on why people would, with all the ways to advertise, why they would choose to spend money on you.
Okay. Yeah. That's a great question. We know that Yelp and TripAdvisor are our competitors, but they're on the other side of the spectrum. What we are providing our customers are local hidden gems. Every time I go to the city, I know in New York there's Times Square. There are people giving out brochures in New York City. Oh, go to Times Square, go to this outlet. It's just everything everyone's been to, but not a lot of people know what the city actually has. There's Roosevelt Avenue, where you can see the entire world on that avenue, and not just New York. People are unaware about that. And TripAdvisor and Yelp only provide reviews about things that are very popular, places that are filled with tourists, and this is not what we want to give our consumers.
On your cover page, you did have Central Park and the High Line.
Right.
So tell me how those are examples of the uniqueness of your locations.
So our interface was just for you to get an example of what our user interface would look like. We have like the Stardust Diner, which is a tourist destination, but our recommendation would be that don't go there for dinner because food is horrible, but go there for lunch where you can truly like enjoy the atmosphere over there. And Highline, a lot of like New Yorkers and people in the US know about it, but like if my mom was coming back from India, she would have no idea what the Highline is. So those are targeted to consumers who are not so familiar with like New York or other markets.
Okay, thank you.
The data scientists seem critical to this. Talk to me about their skill set and how you're going to hire the best data scientists.
So the data scientists, like their emphasis will be on truly like handpicking and ensuring that each event on our application is authentic and provides users with like a cultural and holistic view of the city. Our CTO is going through like an intensive interviewing process with them to understand that not only do they have like the skill set to make sure that they know the algorithms and different like APIs to use to build the database, but also we've like a passion for travel and exploration. So a combination of both, like passion for travel and understanding what local experiences are, as well as the skill sets involved in developing the algorithms and figuring out how to handpick the data from different travel blogs like Lonely Planet, Travel and Leisure, and curating it to come up with like a holistic, authentic experience for our user.
So in May, Airbnb launched their local travel experiences. What gives you guys a competitive advantage over such a big behemoth who's already in this space and trying to do something very similar?
So we believe that our social feature, Let's Hang, in addition to the local experiences, is our competitive advantage. Not only do we give the users with like allow them to explore local experiences, but also you can connect with other tourists who are maybe interested in doing the same activity. So I want to go for a hike, but my family's not adventurous. So I can use Latitude to find other tourists who are interested in going hiking with me.
In addition, you do not need to plan beforehand with our application. It's just going to be on an app on your phone. And if you're at the Eiffel Tower and, oh, there's a really nice hot chocolate place by there, would you like to check it out? Then you can just go and check it out. You don't have to know your itinerary from before at all. Because a lot of time tourists go with itineraries. Oh, I'm going to go to the Eiffel Tower here, and all the way I'm going to travel all the way to the best restaurant, which is on the other end of the city. We're trying to avoid that. You know, you can be in the same area and still attend and go to a local cafe and a place to visit.
I have one question on the financing of this and going forward with people. $1.14. How'd you arrive at $1.14? Cost per CSE?
$1.40.
To $1.14 to acquire? Yeah, acquisition cost.
So that was our all the different customer acquisition strategies, mainly focusing on social media. So Facebook, Instagram, Google AdWords were three like essential costs that we will be using for our customer acquisition, which account to like 50 cents each. And using like research, we got the $1.14 customer acquisition cost.
We believe that social media is a very effective platform just because our target market is millennials, and this is where they find travel inspirations and they they follow travel bloggers on Instagram. So we believe this is the market we need to target, and social media is where we need to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.